At 45, Emeka still lived in the same room he grew up in the city of Enugu. Posters of long-forgotten music stars still clung to the fading blue walls, and a small fan buzzed weakly in the corner, doing little to fight the heat. Outside, the real world was happening: bills, work, responsibility, but Emeka mostly stayed in his room, scrolling through his phone, and occasionally wandering down to the living room to argue with his father over the TV remote. Mr. Okafor, Emeka's father, was a retired principal who still wore his glasses low on his nose like he was about to mark a stack of exam papers. Though long retired, the sternness of a school administrator never left him. Every day, he woke up by 5 a.m., made tea, read the newspaper, and mentally prepared for another day of being stuck in the house with his son. Mrs. Okafor, in her mid-70s, was a nurse, and still a practicing one. Her colleagues had all retired years ago, but she couldn't afford that luxury. Her pension was barely enough to buy her blood pressure medication, and Mr. Okafor's was lost in a web of government bureaucracy and pending processing. So, she worked night shift at a private hospital, coming home exhausted every morning, only to meet her son watching movies and eating cereal. Emeka, their only child, had once shown promise. He completed his degree in sociology, though it took him nearly 9 years to do so. When his father insisted on him getting a proper job, Emeka decided that the white-collar hustle was not for him. Instead, he declared one morning, over a plate of yam and fried eggs, that he was going to learn solar engineering. "I want to be my own boss. You see all those solar panels people are mounting on their roofs. That's the future," he said, with great confidence. Mr. Okafor was skeptical but decided to give him one last chance. He paid for the training and even bought him a toolkit. Emeka attended the solar installation training for barely a month. After helping install one solar panel, he returned home claiming, "There's nothing to it. I already know everything. I'm ready to start my business." That business remained a fantasy. His toolkit gathered dust under his bed while he binge-watched YouTube videos of motivational speakers. Whenever someone in the neighborhood had an issue with their inverter, Emeka would stroll over, poke around a bit, say something vaguely technical, and collect 2,000 Nigerian nairas for a consultation. Then he'd come back home and boast about his client for the week. Most afternoons, he and his father would fight over what to watch on TV. "Papa, stop watching this your boring documentary. I want to watch Premier League. This house is mine, and this TV is mine. Go and buy your own, then you can control it," Mr. Okafor would snap. "And who said I can't buy TV? I just don't want to waste money on that when I'm saving to expand my solar brand," Emeka would respond, puffing his chest. One evening, Mrs. Okafor returned from work, weary and drenched from the rain. She walked into the house and found Emeka snoring on the couch while Mr. Okafor sat next to him, watching news with the volume barely audible. She stood in silence for a moment, then dropped her bag and kissed loudly. Both men turned. "I'm tired," she said, eyes filled with quiet fire. "From today, I'm not paying for food again in this house. Let's all see how long laziness can feed a grown man." Mr. Okafor blinked. Emeka sat up, stunned. "Mommy, what are you saying?" "I said I've done enough. I worked for all of you. I've missed my retirement, my rest, and even my dignity. It's time someone else took responsibility." She walked to her room, without another word. That night, there was no dinner. And for the first time, Emeka lay awake, not scrolling, not watching TV, but thinking. Thinking hard. Emeka woke up unusually early the next morning, even before his father. He bathed, wore one of his event shirts, the shiny green one with golden buttons, sprayed half a bottle of body spray, and ate 3 slices of bread without asking who bought them. He had a mission. In his mind, the solution was clear. The problem wasn't that he lacked a job or purpose, the real issue was that the house needed a woman. Not his mother. A younger, energetic helper who would cook, sweep, iron, rub his mother's feet, and maybe even massage his father's back. A wife. Yes, that was the missing piece. Once he got married, his mother would no longer come home to carry buckets of water and stew pound yam. A good wife would take care of the home. Emeka would coordinate things, manage the house like a supervisor. So he went out. His first stop was the market. He strode by the tomatoes section, standing confidently near the women roasting corn. "Excuse me, my sister," he said to one of them, flashing what he believed was his most charming smile. "You look like someone who would make a very good wife." The woman looked him up and down, hissed, and turned her back to him like a curtain closing. Undeterred, Emeka moved to a salon. Surely, where hair is made, wives can be found. "Hello, beautiful," he said to a lady under the dryer. "I've been looking for someone like you. Hardworking, focused. Are you married?" The lady didn't even flinch. She stared blankly ahead, then muttered, "God abeg," loud enough for everyone in the salon to hear. Emeka left in shame but convinced he was getting warmer. Days turned to weeks. He visited church youth groups, joined a book club he couldn't read for, even started posting on Facebook daily with captions like "Real man looking for real woman flex biceps red heart." Not a single response. Even the church aunties who used to greet him with "God will do it" now just offered him side eyes and forced smiles. Then one evening, something unexpected happened. A distant cousin from the village called. Her daughter, Chioma, had just finished secondary school and needed a place in the city to stay small while they figured out her next steps. Mrs. Okafor, kind-hearted as ever, agreed instantly. When Chioma arrived, she was a bright, spirited 19-year-old with 2 long braids and enough energy to clean the whole compound before 8 a.m. She called Mrs. Okafor Auntie Nurse, cooked jollof that made Mr. Okafor cry nostalgic tears, and even helped him operate the remote without fighting. But Emeka, oh Emeka. He saw things differently. He began walking around shirtless, flexing his 1.5 packs. He'd randomly pass by Chioma while talking on the phone, to no one, saying things like, "Yes sir, I've completed the solar contract at the estate. 10 million naira project." Then he'd wink at her. She would smile politely, but nothing more. One day, as he helped her carry a bucket of water, Emeka finally spoke his truth. He began, "Our parents brought us together for a reason. Some things are destiny. You're here. I'm here. The house is waiting." She blinked. "Uncle Emeka, what are you saying?" He leaned closer. "I'm saying, we could build something. Start a life. You're the type that can help a man reach his full potential." She burst into laughter. Loud, uncontrollable laughter that echoed into the kitchen. "Uncle, I beg. I'm just 19. And I already have a boyfriend, he's in the university and has a real job during holidays. Besides, you don't even have Wi-Fi in this house." Emeka stood there, broken. Again. And that night, his mother made an announcement at the dinner table. "I've been offered full retirement with benefits. They are increasing my pension. I'm finally leaving the hospital." Everyone looked up. "But how, dear?" his father asked. Chioma smiled. I helped Auntie file her retirement documents online and followed up with the ministry. I also fixed the pension issue, it was just sitting in a wrong account. A friend of mine at the ministry sorted it. Mr. Okafor turned to his wife. You mean we're finally free? Yes, she smiled. We can rest. Then she looked at Emeka. And you will get a job. Starting tomorrow, you're working with Mr. Uche, the electrician down the road. You'll learn something real this time. But Emeka tried to protest. No, but you're already 45. You can't marry your way out of adulthood. That was when the biggest twist came. Mr. Okafor cleared his throat and pointed to a small black bag by the door. Also, son, your room now belongs to Chioma. You'll be sleeping in the corridor. At least until you rent your own place. After all, this house is for people who walk. Emeka, stunned and silent, walked to the corridor that night with his pillow and bucket, muttering to himself, at least corridor get breeze. But for the first time in years, the Okafor home was filled with laughter, peace, and hope. And finally, Mr. and Mrs. Okafor slept with full bellies and lighter hearts. Because truly, at last, they were the parents of a lazy 45-year-old man finally on the slow road to becoming a responsible adult. But between you and me, I'm not holding my breath. If you enjoyed this story, share it with that one friend who keeps waiting for destiny instead of looking for a job. And hey, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, because in this house, we serve premium gist with a twist. Next episode, we'll see if Emeka actually survives his first week with Mr. Uche the electrician, or if he accidentally gets shocked into early retirement. See you next time.